lessons to assist up leveling, next level. There are messages and and lessons, downloads, moment to moment. So I wanted to share what some divine lessons that revealed on rising, and the message that came through is what is not meant to be aligned for you right now will be simply taken out, it will be gone. Letting go of attachments, objects, and really getting really clear with whatever is in your space, in your soul, in this body space, whatever is in your home, the dwelling that you reside within, to only have objects and even items of clothing that actually mean something, that hold some meaning, that have an essence of what you want to have in that space, and perhaps decluttering and allowing what is not meant to be there to go. So this morning I went and got my coffee, and I've started wearing my cedarwood again, a pendant that I've had for, gosh, many years. Almost 13 years. And I've started wearing it again, and this message came through this morning, and this is when intuition comes from, and there was this voice, check your pendant. And for whatever reason, I chose not to. And then I went and got my coffee, and I came home, and I felt this looseness of simply the thread, and the cedarwood was gone. Now, it was interesting to observe myself in that moment, to not be in a place of there was no frustration, which would be my normal thing, frustration. And so I simply chose to then go and retrace my steps. And then it wasn't there, so I let go. I thought, well, obviously it will be there for somebody else. It's been returned to nature. It's been returned back to the earth. And if I'm meant to have it in my alignment, it will come to me. So I came home and I walked up the steps, and halfway up the steps, there it was, on the step, clear view. And there was a message in that. Keep climbing the stairways to heaven. The stairway to heaven, which is within you. So I did an Instagram post on that, of sharing the healing benefits of cedarwood. And in that conversation, when I went out to retrace the steps and back to the coffee shop, I spoke to Joe, who owns the coffee shop. And then he let me know that the cedarwood was also used for Jesus Christ's cross. Good morning. So we had this beautiful conversation. I was like, we had a little bit of a joke, because I said, I'm missing my wood. Where's my wood? I've lost my wood, which is, a little bit naughty and cheeky. Then when I came back, there were two books that have deep meaning for me personally, and hold within them a lot of ancient wisdom and a sacred. And I was like, where are they? And they had disappeared. And I was like, isn't that interesting? So then I was asking it to be brought to me either in a vision, and often what I'll see is a vision will come up, a picture will come up, or I'll see something and then I'll go and I'll find it. And I originally thought they were together, and then over the space of about 40 minutes while I was looking for them at the same time as doing breath work, whilst I was going on this little curious adventure. And this is the key. This is the key. When you're asking for more to be brought into you, you will have tests and you will have initiations to test to see if you're ready to receive. And if you're in that place of resistance or frustration, all you're going to be doing is pushing things away from you. So yes, they presented themselves one by one, and I was like, oh yes. And then I found the message that I was looking for within them. Which brings me back to what is going on right now and how vital it is to really get out in nature, to ground, to earth, to allow your skin to breathe. Another confirmation that I feel more and more in my childlike self is people are wearing jackets. Children aren't, but the adults are wearing jackets, and I'm wanting to get my skin out to breathe in nature. There's a lot of really big things happening right now with and if you're having a lot of chaotic things coming up in your life, then there is a message in that for you. If you're suddenly having people that are attacking you, well, there's going to be a message in there for you that there will be something karmically that you have played out before, that now this is coming along as a karmic wave for you to deal with, to learn the lesson from it, to gain the insight from it, to then shift into a deeper embodiment of love. So yes, I'm out here with my stick. Hello. Hey. Aww. Oh, little fairy little girl. Oh, curiousness, the curiousness and the excitement. So I've come out and I'm exploring my movement again, and I'm going to upload a video. And I will say, with that level of discernment with the video, many people will see the video and then they'll naturally start wanting to copy, and that's an aspect. And within the movements there is a level of learning, getting back to basics, learning how to move your body, being guided by someone that has actually gone through and has trained with movement to guide you. As what happens is the body and the habits, the habitual nature of the movement for people will feel normal, and they'll be walking along like this and they'll be like, oh no, I have great alignment in my body, and they won't see it because the nervous system has registered that as a baseline. And this is what I'm feeling out in humanity. Many baselines are functioning, hardly functioning at all. They're basically in survival patterns, they're in trauma patterns. Most have not learned how to work with their grip, loosen their grip, so their dexterity, the way that they move their body, they've lost it. They've lost this connection. And it's a thing that happens in society. People like, they chase the fancy, the cherry on the cake of the show of what something likes, and rather than, you need to learn how to go through the layers and get back to basics, get back to grounded, get back to your foundations, like rewiring. So when you see the movements that when I upload the video, it will look very simplistic, it will look fluid, and it will look graceful, and still there is refinement in there as forever the student within myself. And what the ego will do, it will see it and it will be like, oh, I just want to rush and do that. And I see this all the time. It's like, I want to do the handstand, I want to do the flashy stuff. And yet there's all these processes, not processes, there is a level of refining, of complexity becoming simplicity, and then going back to learning again, to not knowing, to then feeling a little bit like Bambi, of having to find your feet. And this is what's happening with people's nervous systems. And then, you know, you get more fluid at being able to walk. And most people in humanity have not even learned how to crawl yet. Not even learned how to crawl. And I see it all in people's body patterns and their holding patterns and this nervous system. Then that impacts your frequency and your resonance that you're able to put out. So I invite you to, if you are chasing the spiritual, or you're reading spiritual teachers and you want to get it and you want to understand it intellectually, and you've not gone into the body work stuff, the basics of the body, and going into the emotions to stir things up, whole spirituality will be an illusion, and it will be another handbag that the ego will hold on to, of thinking who it is. And there will be zero integration. So there's a reason why from the ground up, there's a reason why when you hit a wall and you go into overwhelm and you go into this defragmentation and this almost like a temper tantrum like this, you have to go into that, the visceral stuff, the dark stuff, the rich, the juicy stuff. Otherwise, you cannot rise. You cannot rise from the earth to sky, the ground, the root to crown. Unplug from everything. The victim programs are really like, why is this happening? Why is this person doing this to me? Oh, is that right? That's a victim program playing out. Whatever is happening in your life is there divinely for your own growth, for your own inner standing. And that is a process of integration. Let's see here. The other thing that I wanted to mention as well, beautiful souls, it's day 6 now. Day 6 of I'm having my moon flow. Now, last year there were 4 months where myself and many other sisters, oh, that bird's giving a message, many other sisters did not bleed for 4 months. And none of us actually communicated this with one another until the codes came through us and we bled last September. And it wasn't just one, not just 3, there were many, many women all across the globe. And what we each individually, synchronistically downloaded as we're all interconnected, and especially through the womb and the feminine, earth, Gaia, trees, we were birthing, we were preparing, setting up new codes. Codes for when what would unravel. And it's been this layering process. Now, I've just gone through 3 months of holding again the womb, and I was like, oh, I'm cooking something here. I can feel it, this brewing. And usually with my moon flow has always been very regular. I've done a lot of work with healing the womb, and it feels very balanced. My womb feels very aligned. Always get deep messages from my womb. It's something that I teach with women and guide women through, and men. So I wasn't concerned. I had this inner knowing that there was going to be some new, really potent codes coming through. And again, if this grosses you out, I really don't care. It's a natural part of living in life. But from my usual moon flow for over 40 years now, it was always, and it's gone through different phases, but I'd sort of bleed for 2 days, and then the third day was really light. So this time is day 6. It's day 6, and I'm still bleeding. And it's different. It's not like, and it's fresh, it's bright red. So yes, my second book goes into blood mysteries and things that you can do in sacred honoring with your moon flow. So it's going to be a brilliant offering for teenagers, for mums, for dads to really understand, for anyone, and the sacredness of what is coming through. So I'm still tuning into it. I will go and do a ceremony upon the earth as I've been sitting here, training shamelessly, and working on the land barefoot, like my whole body is humming, and the bleeding has started again. So I'm just allowing it to bleed into the earth, and it's feeling very, very powerful, very potent what's coming through. And in that, I'm honoring the sacredness of it. I will say this right now, this is not a time to be shocking people. This is not a time to be triggering people intentionally. If you're doing that, you're stirring up some shit which is nothing to do with you. The real medicine right now is to see what is in your environment for you and have the courage to go in and explore that. It's not about jabbing others like this. It's not about or poking people or triggering them or intentionally getting them to react. Even the birds agree. That's just being a shit stirrer. That's just turning into a perpetrator. I'm gonna call it out. If you're doing things to shock people or thinking that by shocking them you're gonna wake them up, you're going to have a karmic backlash from that. You will have a karmic backlash, and you are sticking your nose in someone else's business that has nothing to do with you. So that's my word of advice. Warning, you will have a backlash for that and a cosmic slap around your face to teach you to mind your own business and to come back to your business and start to see how you can restore harmony, peace, and love on the planet. So brings me to the point of I'm seeing myself more and more as a peaceful warrior. You see, the peaceful warrior has learned and is still learning to find the peace within themselves, to realize that the only fight that ever there was is a fight within yourself. And this is what humanity is being shifted through right now. He's here. Morning, sister. The fight within self. And the fight that you have with your titles, your labels, who you think you are, wanting to feel acknowledged, wanting to feel external acceptance, wanting to get attention by triggering people. And you will find yourself caught up in a karmic loop that then you will keep repeating the same history. You will repeat the same history. So if you are waving your little sword, triggering people and activating people, good luck with that. I wish you well. It's not the path that I'm choosing to walk. My path is to keep going deeper into self and keep guiding others deeper into self, as really the only enemy is in the last place you will ever look. The only fight really that you need to sit and have a conversation with is yourself. A lot of it is tied up with the wounded inner child. So if you're fighting for save the children and all of that, I invite you to have a conversation with me. I invite you to come and explore some trauma healing. I invite you to do some inner child work. To do some inner child work. To really come into that place within yourself, as that is the healing. And I've been saying this for God knows how long now. And I've said this to a few people that are like fighting, and that, you know, I know they've got a lot of deep trauma, sexual trauma, and they're still not addressing it. And they think that they're playing the role by like, save the children, save the children. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. All of that is still going to exist. All of those things are still going to exist until every human being on the planet has come into that deep inner healing within themselves. Deep inner healing within themselves. Of coming into true acceptance. I'm not saying acceptance of, you know, these things that have been done to children, but it's coming into acceptance that that is something that has played out. And then keep coming into a deeper level of understanding within self. To shift beyond the triggers and the reactions, because each time you're like, nah, you're feeding the thing you don't want. And you are keeping it alive. Yes, I'm finger pointing. And I have those pointing back at me because I'm still bringing that into alignment. I'm still bringing that into love. I'm still practicing seeing each and every soul within the planet, no matter if they've done whatever they've done, bad, evil, of seeing the child within them. That at some point in time, yes, they made a choice, they're playing a role. At some point in time, there's an aspect of innocence within them. What's this? I'm gonna see one. The repressed emotions. Yes. It's deep. It's really deep. That's why this Wednesday for the Zoom, if you want in, let me know and I'll send you a link. It's going to be 8 a.m. in the morning. And it's going to be around grieving and really letting go of things that are still tripping you up. Begin that deep inner healing. And that challenges every visceral thing within you, because then it's like, oh no, you've got this fight. I'm a fighter, I'm fighting for freedom. Well, freedom is actually inside of you. It's not outside of you. You know, and we say these things so much to be the change you wish to see in the world, be the change. And some of the greatest power that you have is within silence. Awesome. Honored to have you in the space, sister. Yeah, the repressed emotions are deep, Graham. Really deep. Really deep. We're returning to wholeness. We're returning to completeness, and realizing we were already complete. We have these fragmented aspects that need to be brought into wholeness. For each and every soul on this planet, my mission is to leave no one behind. No one behind. even somebody that has done something in their moment of unconsciousness or their moment of weakness because they were feeding off a life force outside of themselves. They were feeding off another shine, life force, spirit. Redemption. It's always been about redemption this year, right? Really coming in. I just got shivers, these deep inner healing. And so much of humanity are like in trauma. They're in trauma. Ascension. Thing about ascension. Sitting on the fence and just thinking that it's you're going to get a free ride and you're just going to naturally ascend because everyone's ascending. No, you actually have to be willing to look at your stuff, to meet yourself, to come into unification. Means to come into unification with all aspects, as in another timeline you will have played something else out with the blood on your hands. So we're returning to innocence, we're restoring innocence. Does anyone have any questions? Stretching my legs out. So yeah, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're not going to evolve. You're not going to grow. And you'll continue drowning in the external chaos. And then that's why suffering comes along and pain comes along as wise teachers. And that separation, to realize that separation that you feel, to then recognize, well, it's the separation within yourself. So many are holding on to the edges in like their survival of barely holding it together. And it just takes letting go of it, letting go of it, letting go of it. But adults have become so conditioned in rigid thought patterns, rigid beliefs, righteousness, arrogance, entitlements, thinking you have all your shit together. Humility is not learned when you're standing up tall. Humility is learned on your knees. When you catch yourself, when you see the program that is playing out through you. And humility is found on our knees when people go into overwhelm. That deep, real letting go. As the knees also hold divine medicine to assist, to get out the way of yourself, to meet your ego, to meet your pride. And it takes real courage to stay when you want to run. To be silent. Oh, look at this cute little beetle. Hey, buddy. Is it like an ant with wings? Oh, he's gonna fly. You gonna fly, buddy? He's just like doing his thing. You're gonna take off. Leap into the unknown. You can do it. Look, say hello to the camera. I don't know what he is. He's cute. Gonna go down there. No, he likes my body. No, he's gone on there. So yeah, I invite you, take off your masks. Have the courage to come and sit in space. Wednesday will be powerful. Tomorrow morning we'll be grieving as tribe, and I'll guide you through. Really powerful process I've done many times, and when we do that together, we're assisting the entire collective. Migration signs. Is it? Oh, what, the little beetle, the flying thing? Oh, I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say. Enjoy the video, and if you do want to learn how to move with grace and flow and really be guided how to move intuitively and live intuitively, then do hit me up. It's a medicine that really began this journey, and it's beautiful to start exploring it again, and in that allowing my an alchemy of what is naturally flowing through me to be the creator and weaver of some new fresh things which feels aligned with my soul. Flying ants, ooh, migrate before the rain. Oh, thank you, beautiful Laura. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Annie. Oh, and Johnny, sister. Exciting. Okay, big rains coming, big storms. I've seen quite a few things today. There's a lot of butterflies out as well. Getting a lot of messages from pigeons and messages from the wind. Yeah, have a beautiful day. Get out in nature and unplug from anything that is not aligned, and be really, really clear in what is coming into your frequency. As once you really align with your nature, your inner nature, you create the world. You create the world. You get to create your day however you choose. And what I find when I'm walking around, there is no hostility towards me. There is zero asking me to put anything on or anything like that. It's really beautiful and open and receptive, and it's playful. And there's curiousness around me because that's what the energy I'm putting out in frequency. So when you shift your frequency, you will shift everyone around you. And as light warriors, it is not about hiding indoors in your safety zone of I'm just doing my inner work, I'm just doing me. No, part of the role is actually go out and have human experiences and actually go out into your community and impact your community, no matter if you're like, oh my God, it's so hostile out there, everyone's this. Well, see how your opinion is keeping you bound. Start to see everyone as divine souls, no matter what their choices are, and see it as a playing field of what you have been blessed with to actually go out there and impact with love and light. So go out, beam, radiate, and step out of your comfort zone. Big love, Zoe-Anna.